George Washington, 1789 to 1797, first president, set the foundation of the new government, refused to be king, and set a two-term tradition, called the Father of his Country. John Adams, 1797 to 1801, first president to live in the White House, helped negotiate peace with Europe, known for the Alien and Sedition Acts. Thomas Jefferson, 1801 to 1809, main author of the Declaration of Independence, doubled U.S. land through the Louisiana Purchase, founded the University of Virginia. James Madison, 1809 to 1817, father of the Constitution, for shaping U.S. laws, led the country during the War of 1812, helped write the Bill of Rights. James Monroe, 1817 to 1825, issued the Monroe Doctrine warning Europe to stay away. Era called the Era of Good Feelings, expanded the U.S. westward. John Quincy Adams, 1825 to 1829, only president to later return to Congress, promoted science and national observatories, supported anti-slavery movements. Andrew Jackson, 1829 to 1837, founded the Democratic Party, known for brutal Indian removal policies. First president from a poor frontier family. Martin Van Buren, 1837 to 1841, faced the panic of 1837 Depression. First president born a U.S. citizen, nicknamed the Little Magician. William Henry Harrison, 1841, served the shortest presidency, 31 days, died of pneumonia after a long speech in cold weather. War hero from the Battle of Tippecanoe. John Tyler, 1841 to 1845, first vice president to succeed after a president's death, expelled from his own political party while in office, annexed Texas into the U.S. James K. Polk, 1845 to 1849, achieved massive expansion to the Pacific, led the Mexican-American War, added California, Nevada, and more. Zachary Taylor, 1849 to 1850, war hero with no political experience, died only 16 months into his term, opposed expansion of slavery. Millard Fillmore, 1850 to 1853, supported the Compromise of 1850, helped delay the Civil War temporarily. Last Whig Party president, Franklin Pierce, 1853 to 1857, signed the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Policies increased slavery tensions. Considered one of the most ineffective presidents, James Buchanan, 1857 to 1861, did nothing to stop Southern secession. His inaction led directly to civil war. Often ranked the worst U.S. president, Abraham Lincoln, 1861 to 1865, freed enslaved people with Emancipation Proclamation, preserved the Union during the Civil War, assassinated shortly after victory. Andrew Johnson, 1865 to 1869, first president to be impeached, clashed with Congress over Reconstruction, survived removal by one vote. Ulysses S. Grant, 1869 to 1877, Civil War hero for the Union, presidency hurt by corruption scandals, worked to protect freed slaves' rights. Rutherford B. Hayes, 1877 to 1881, ended Reconstruction to settle election dispute, rebuilt the Southern economy, fought government corruption. James A. Garfield, 1881, promoted civil service reform, assassinated after 4 months, pushed for African American rights. Chester A. Arthur, 1881 to 1885, surprisingly effective despite low expectations. Signed the Pendleton Civil Service Act, upgraded the U.S. Navy. Grover Cleveland, 1885 to 1889, fought corruption and political favoritism. Only president with non-consecutive terms, known as an honest reformer. Benjamin Harrison, 1889 to 1893, passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, supported pensions for veterans, oversaw economic growth and inflation. Grover Cleveland, 1893 to 1897, returned for a second term after defeat, faced a severe economic depression. Only president counted twice. William McKinley, 1897 to 1901, led U.S. in the Spanish-American War, gained Puerto Rico, Guam, and Philippines. Assassinated in 1901, Theodore Roosevelt, 1901 to 1909. Youngest president at 42, built the Panama Canal and protected nature. Teddy bear named after him. William Howard Taft, 1909 to 1913, broke up monopolies. Trust buster, only president to become Chief Justice later. More conservative than Roosevelt. Woodrow Wilson, 1913 to 1921, led U.S. in World War I, created the League of Nations, advocated for world peace. Warren G. Harding, 1921 to 1923, promised a return to normalcy. Presidency rocked by Teapot Dome scandal. Died in office suddenly. Calvin Coolidge, 1923 to 1929, silent and pro-business president. Presided during roaring 1920s economic boom. Believed the business of America is business. Herbert Hoover, 1929 to 1933. Great Depression started during his term. Blamed for failing to respond effectively. Humanitarian before presidency. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1933 to 1945, led through the Great Depression. Only president to serve 4 terms. Guided U.S. in World War II. Harry S. Truman, 1945 to 1953, ended Huayhuatu by using atomic bombs. Started the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe. Launched the Cold War containment policy. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 1953 to 1961, World War II general turned president, built the interstate highway system, managed Cold War tensions. John F. Kennedy, 1961 to 1963, youngest elected president. Cuban Missile Crisis almost led to nuclear war, assassinated in Dallas. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1963 to 1969, signed Civil Rights Act into law, expanded the Vietnam War, created Medicare and Medicaid. Richard Nixon, 1969 to 1974, ended U.S. involvement in Vietnam, resigned due to Watergate scandal, opened relations with China. Gerald Ford, 1974 to 1977, only president never elected, pardoned Nixon to heal the nation, survived 2 assassination attempts. Jimmy Carter, 1977 to 1981, brokered peace with Egypt and Israel, faced oil crisis and inflation, won Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. Ronald Reagan, 1981 to 1989, former Hollywood actor, helped end the Cold War, major tax cuts, and conservative revival. George H.W. Bush, 1989 to 1993, led U.S. in Gulf War, oversaw fall of the Soviet Union, famous line, no new taxes. Bill Clinton, 1993 to 2001, presided over economic boom, impeached but remained in office, known for scandals and growth. George W. Bush, 2001 to 2009, president during 9/11 attacks, started war on terror, involved in Afghanistan and Iraq wars. Barack Obama, 2009 to 2017, first African-American president, passed Affordable Care Act, killed Osama bin Laden. Donald Trump, 2017 to 2021, billionaire outsider, highly controversial, impeached twice, survived removal, changed U.S. political landscape permanently. Joe Biden, 2021 to 2025, after serving as vice president under Barack Obama, focused on COVID-19 recovery, infrastructure investment, and expanding alliances with global democracies. Worked on climate initiatives and economic relief while facing challenges including inflation and international conflicts.